Hey everybody, welcome back to Blue Steel Tarot. Today is Sunday, February 5th, 2023. Today we actually have a full moon in Leo that came in at around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:30 or so p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this is an exciting time. Full moons, they typically bring in change and dramatic endings. But as you know, with every ending is a brand new beginning. So this is an exciting time to kind of explore what that new beginning might be. And so today I thought we'll ask a couple of questions and we'll ask the tarot for some guidance and some insights. Maybe we'll start off with an initial kind of like energy for the week overall. Then I was thinking about asking the question of the tarot, what can we embrace that will kind of help us find passion and excitement in something new? What's something new we can either do or embrace to kind of explore our passions further and find like a great path forward? How can we be more effective in expressing ourselves, kind of is really what I'm thinking, right? And then, as part of the full moon, I also want to ask, what's an old habit we should break? What's something we should leave behind or consider putting less emphasis and attention on? So we'll use the Pride Tarot deck, and if needed, we can clarify with the Robin Hood Tarot deck. So let's jump right into it here. So let's start off with the current energy for the week. We have the Wheel of Fortune, great card. We have the Four of Cups. Perfect. We have the Ace of Cups. Wow, this is looking to be quite the hell of a week. That's exciting. I love seeing like good cards popping up. And we have the Six of Cups. In the area of when we ask the tarot, well, let me just ask the tarot directly. What can we do? What's something we should explore to further embrace our individuality and find, and really explore our passions and interests, and maybe even find something new, and bring this into the law of attraction, right? So the Six of Wands is one of those cards for the answer. The Ace of Pentacles, another great card to have. Three of Cups, awesome. And the Chariot. Wow, that's pretty exciting. It's really pretty exciting. Okay, so now tell us, tarot, what old habits do we need to break, potentially leave behind? How can we, what should we be exploring or really moving on from, so that we continue to embrace our passions, attract what we want to attract, and then have what we want to have. So the first one is the Five of Cups. Second, we have the Page of Wands. We have the King of Cups. Oh, and we have the Three of Swords. Wow, okay, that's great. All right, this is really exciting. Okay, so let's kind of start off with what our current energy is here. So current energy for the week, we've got a lot of positive energy here, starting off with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, is things turning in your favor. So I feel like this week is going to be a very positive week. Coming off of the full moon in Leo, right? Change. Things are changing for the good. This was the first card I pulled. It's in the upper left-hand corner. I think that's an awesome card to have when you have a full moon. So we have things moving in our direction, moving in our favor. And this is an opportunity to kind of embrace some of those things that are changing. And this is the opportunity to think about, well, what interests, what do I truly desire? Gain as much clarity, as you can in what you do desire, and focus your attention on that, okay? And so what I really like about this Four of Cups, the Four of Cups is all about stability. Fours are about stability. The Four of Wands is one of those cards where they have the four wands standing upright, and that has a number of different meanings. The Four of Cups, I think, of kind of being comfortable and being almost apathetic, or just kind of, just content, just, satisfied with what is, but you're also kind of, maybe there's a bit of boredom too, and you're kind of not paying attention to all the abundance and the great things around you. So I think when it comes in like with this Wheel of Fortune, this is kind of almost saying to me like, hey, this is, nudge you a little bit. Hey, be consciously aware of what you're thinking about, right? That's one of the key premises of the law of attraction. The law of attraction really says, be aware of what you're thinking about. Focus your thoughts. Thoughts become things. So when we become aware of what our thoughts are, we can really ask ourselves, are we thinking about what we truly want and desire in our lives? Or are we thinking about either one, the absence of that, or are we paying attention to things that are going on in our 3D reality that are no longer serving us or that do not align with what we want? So your subconscious mind, remember, I talked a little bit about this, I think, in the video I put out about a week ago with my favorite law of attraction books. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between I want this and I don't want that. It takes everything you focus on and looks to validate and find evidence and bring it into your experience. So I think this is a great, almost a reminder. I was going to say a warning. Let's not call it a warning. This is a great reminder. Things are turning in your favor because you're becoming more and more consciously aware of what you're thinking about. And I think you're focusing on your thoughts, and there's always a way to find a better feeling thought. So I think it's really important this week. It's important, frankly, every week. But I think with those two cards together, this comes right to me. Because I think when you start to do that, look, you've got the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a brand new beginning. Brand new beginning, typically of, we have this cup overflowing, right? I do like this design a lot. This is very different from the Robin Hood Tarot and certainly from the Rider-Waite and other traditional or more traditional tarot type decks. But this is like an outpouring of something new. So this is like, and the thing about like a new love or a new energetic emotion is that it brings a ton of like positive energy and enthusiasm and excitement. So I think if you're able to like focus your thoughts on things that bring you a tremendous amount of joy, you're going to start to see new things popping in your life. And this is the week that it's coming. Okay. So I think it's, important that you kind of focus on that. Now with the Six of Cups is often about a little bit of like nostalgia sometimes is really what we hear. Some people think, related to something from the past. But I think that this can also kind of be, in my mind, focusing your thoughts. And when you focus on it's okay to focus on the past and focus on things that have transpired and things that are going on in 3D reality, meaning what's going on right now. If that makes you feel good, by all means, if it feels good, then continue to think about it and focus on it and look at it and appreciate it. But if it's not, then don't focus on it at all. So the Six of Cups, if we think about it from a nostalgic point of view, think about things that only make you feel good. Don't focus on the hurt. Don't focus on the disadvantages. Don't focus on the challenges and the hurdles and the heartache that you've experienced in the past. And I think that's where you're kind of coming from too. So if you almost look at the energy of this, like we have very positive energy, a little lackluster energy. This is kind of like a nostalgic, which could kind of bring us down like memory lane and maybe some lower vibes. But I think when we focus on this path forward here, this is a great opportunity to really kind of bring it all into a very positive light. Okay. So moving on to the what we should be doing to kind of embrace our individuality, to find those, explore that, this opportunity, this full moon, bringing in all sorts of change and abundance. How can we kind of take advantage of that and then explore new passions, interests, opportunities, and things that arise? And where do we go about doing that if we're successful in that? So we have a couple of cards here. I think, first of all, we have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is all about celebrations, right? So I think a part of this is also just thinking about like, where have you been? Like, where are you today? And what really lights you up? What has lit you up? And I think when you focus on that, you might uncover a whole brand new interest or something that you might want to pursue. So explore those things that really make you feel good. And this could be some sort of thing that's brought you great recognition. And I think, if you think about recognition, right, for a moment, Six of Wands, I think recognition, appreciation, that sort of thing, right? For a moment, though, think about what have you done, or what do people recognize you for? What do people appreciate about you and feel that you're very good at? And what have you excelled at or done well with? And I think when you do that, you might, if you kind of list out things that align with that, it could bring a whole brand new beginning for you. So the Ace of Pentacles is a brand new beginning, typically like an offer, an opportunity, something related to money. So while, this isn't necessarily, looks specifically suggesting, we should be thinking about side gigs or new business opportunities or that's whatever. I think when you pair what you do well and what people come to you for, if people turn to you for advice on a specific area, they turn to you for help in building something, creating something, opining, writing something, whatever the case is. That could be a passion of yours that brings a whole brand new beginning and could really light you up if you pursue it. And this is telling me, if you can identify something there, it'll bring you a tremendous opportunity that could be very, very lucrative and could end up being a side business. But it could also just be something that like makes you feel very excited and helps benefit the lives of others, right? And when we talk about it, it comes back to people. I think you've got a strong connection to people, and this Three of Cups is all about partnership. And and look at this card here, right? This is about love, partnership, and they're collaborating together, creating together. There's a lot of positive vibes, positive energy here. This is the Pride Tarot deck, so you got two men in the cup, and there's this woman down in front, and she's just dancing away, having a great time, right? So I think this is like, again, kind of like along the lines of the Six of Wands. When we talk about embracing your individuality and, unleashing your creative flair, I think that this is really comes back to finding what really lights you up and what do you really do well and enjoy. And that is going to bring, so let's go with that theme for a moment, right? What really lights you up? What do you really enjoy doing? And first of all, I think it involves other people, because within this card we have three people, and then in the Three of Cups, of course, we have three people. So I've got a group of three. Now, this could mean that you partner with somebody, two other people on something. That could be it could be a partnership or a joint venture or something you do together collectively with somebody. But it doesn't have to be. I think, but when we talk about let's think about that energy for a moment though. And I think when we talk about it's, finding what really lights you up and excites you, brings in a whole new opportunity, and it might bring you in a whole new direction, right? So the Chariot is a major arcana card. It's all about movement and control, and there's some duality here, right? And there's symmetry. There's symmetry right down the center of this card. If I drew a line, it would look exactly the same on each side. Buildings are a little bit different, but by and large, the Chariot, the design on the front of the Chariot, and the two Sphinxes down front, different colors, representing the duality piece. But it's very symmetrical. What's interesting, I'm just noticing this here, this symbol in front here. It's almost like, to me, it represents almost like the medical symbol, like for nurses, doctors, that kind of thing. If you know what I'm talking about, maybe you're seeing that, maybe you see it as well. I've never noticed or thought that before, but I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking medical. But I think when you identify what really lights you up, what do people come to you for, what really makes you feel connected to other people, those ideas will bring you a whole new opportunity, and it'll bring you control, and it'll bring you an opportunity to kind of move forward towards that. And that's what you're doing here. You're taking that information, that insight, and you're going to move forward with it. I really think that you're going to do that, and it's all of these cards say that's going to be extremely successful, right? So now, what do we have to break away from, right? To have the success, the law of attraction says, we need to focus our energy and feel that we have what we want, right? Whether we want, the emotion. You can have the emotion without the manifestation, okay? So, but to do that, you can't have competing emotions that are low vibe, or emotions that doubt and question what you've asked for and what you've put out into your vortex, as Esther Hicks calls it, into the quantum field, as Joe Dispenza calls it. So there's certainly, we need to think about that as well. So what are the old habits and what do we need to break? Two things in this column get my attention right away. both the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. So to me, this is saying we need to let go of the conflict and the past hurt. So yes, if you've been hurt in the past, the more times you focus on the hurt and the what happened in that last relationship, what happened with that last job interview that didn't go through, what happened when something didn't go well, the emotional experience that you had no longer defines you, right? So what we need to do is leave that behind. You've experienced these things before, just as we all have. I think this is the opportunity to leave that behind and focus and divert your attention to the positive aspect of it and say, okay, this didn't really work out the last time, but why can't I have the wonderful relationship I desire? Why can't I have that exciting business opportunity? Or, maybe what would it be like? Ask some of these open-ended questions. What would it be like if I were to explore a passion of mine and turn it into a side business or turn it into a full-time business? What would that look like to me? As you start to ask yourself those questions, you kind of open up the possibility for the mind and then ultimately the subconscious mind to start wondering and start searching for answers to those questions. What would it look like? You've got to leave that hurt and past fear and pain. I just got fear. So vulnerability can bring pain and hurt, and sometimes it'll close us off from experiencing that again. But if we close ourselves off and we feel that we expect it, we're going to continue to get it. So you need to expect that things are always working out in your favor. Part of doing that is leaving behind, letting go of these bad past experiences. Just because somebody wasn't interested in you or dumped you or whatever the case might be, doesn't mean that that's going to happen every single time. So you need to open yourself up to that possibility. Okay. The Page of Wands is here, and what this is telling me is what I just got is a scattered kind of energy. Now, that isn't like the traditional meaning of this particular Page of Wands card, or any Page of Wands card for that matter. But I just got that maybe, you're focused on too many things, or maybe it's the kind of thing where your attention is, you have very short attention spans. So you tend to like jump to the next thing that it pops up and it's like, oh, what is that? So it's almost like a shiny object, okay? So I'm just kind of getting like the shiny object syndrome. So you see something, it's shiny, it gleams, and it looks pretty, and you pick that up. But what you're doing is focusing on too much and not focusing on where your true interest lies. So you need to give some things a chance. That's kind of what I'm getting there, okay? So think about that, right? Think about like, hey, am I focused on everything and everything, or am I just too scattered? So maybe one way to kind of manage that would be to put your cell phone down. Maybe to focus on one thing that particularly interests you, and as you start exploring that, eliminate the distraction, eliminate the phone from being right at your beck and call, so that you don't get distracted by the text message or the emails or whatever could be popping up in your life. And then with the King of Cups, I mean, what I get from this is like a sad looking king. It's almost like, so to me, he does look a little bit sad here, and sandwiched between the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. I feel like I'm just getting the sense of like, this is the person who has a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts. They just haven't said it and they're not talking. And maybe it's that past hurt that's kind of keeping these emotions and feelings within you. Because you see, he looks very serious. This is a non-traditional, King of Cups card. But I do feel like he's kind of not expressing himself. So you do need to be able to express yourself, and maybe like kind of leaving behind that fear of, I'm getting kind of fear, is that somebody may not agree with you and it could damage your connection or relationship with this particular person. So I think you need to be able to articulate yourself and speak well and really kind of express that vulnerability. Be vulnerable when it suits you, when it feels appropriate, and where you really want to like allow yourself to be seen and to be understood. And so I think that's something you want to keep in mind here. Okay. I want to pull just 3 cards from the Robin Hood Tarot deck just to kind of clarify all of this and just say what is kind of like, what is the outcome? Like where, you know, if we're able to do this, if we're able to, you know, embrace our individuality in this full moon period of time, and we're also able to explore some bad habits or some things that have been holding us back. And frankly, these are holding you back. They would be holding all of us back, right? Anybody, right? If we're able to kind of do this, let's ask the tarot, what could we expect? What could we expect? And I'll pull 3 cards. Okay, the Knight of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the King of Wands. Okay, the bottom line here is if you're able to kind of take this to heart, right, knowing this is what your current energy is, knowing that this is what you need to do, you're going to do what you can do, is probably the best way to say it, to really embrace your individuality, find your passions, and start something new during this period of change that the new moon brings in, and then leaving behind some of the things we just talked about here. What is the result? This is great energy, okay? So it's all wands energy. It's all wands. And wands are about passion. So again, I mean, I feel like it's a very recurring theme to like finding that passion, right? What really lights you up. So when you do that, this is the outcome. This is phenomenal. So the Knight of Wands, he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot. The King of Wands, he's also coming in hot. The King really knows what he wants. He is passionate and he is driven and motivated. The Knight of Wands, he moves awfully quick. He can be kind of younger, but, you know, as far as like age is concerned, but he's excited and he is moving forward. And he is definitely moving in the direction of like those things that really light him up. Just the colors here, right? Lots of yellow, very bright and vibrant. Lots of red. Again, kind of like that fiery, hot energy. This is like the fire symbols. So, you know, these are very exciting cards to see in the outcome. And then, of course, you know, we have the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands could be like the marriage card, but there's a lot of celebration here, right? They're up on almost like an elevated stage, and they're under this bit of a canopy with the 4 wands. You can also see 1111, right? So 1111 is historically always been kind of like a number of you know, tremendous luck and value. And there's been a lot of people see 1111 on clocks in various places, license plates, cash registers, that kind of thing. When you ring up groceries or whatever, and it comes out to be like 1111. It can be stability, but it can also be like a sign of like you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Either way, so what this could also mean is maybe you connect with somebody, and maybe frankly this is a marriage card. Maybe this brings into your, when you are pursuing what really lights you up and you're connecting with people, you might connect with somebody that ends up being the person that you marry, and that's really exciting. Of course, it might not be as well, but it could just be a big celebration. So, what key takeaway this week? Be consciously aware of your thoughts. Focus your thoughts on truly what lights you up. Find opportunities to do more of what you love every day, and then remove your attention from the things that have caused you pain and discomfort in the past. Stop thinking about that breakup. Stop thinking about how you feel or how you felt when something negatively impacted you, because we're just going to draw more of it to us. So overall, it's going to be a great week, folks. I want to thank you for being here today. Please, again, subscribe to the channel. Leave any questions or comments down below. And I'll be back again soon. Thanks.